Oh, mein Lieblingsbösewicht ist wieder da.
We still haven't reached the goal. I thought we could get into the doc's lab now.
Warum sollte es so einfach sein?
Is this a joke to you? Your deduction is full of holes. If this is a joke, it's not very funny.
Master, you know what to do.
Of course.
I'll take your garbage deduction and toss it in the trash. I am the saint of Kanai Ward, protecting it from filth like you!
Ja, ja. Rede nur.
The culprit hopped off Alapal as the door opened, then slipped through the gap in the door. That's impossible even for Fink the Slaughter Artist!
Wieso?
Think about it. If Alapal's line of sight changed just a bit, the camera would have caught it. No one would do something so risky.
Armer Pels
The
Design.
crime would have been
Versteh schon.
exposed. The culprit must be really lucky.
Nein.
What? Did they use some sort of special power?
Right.
Wenn Armer Pels Kamera gelaufen wäre, hätten wir die Täter sehen können. Offensichtlich war das nicht der Fall. Aber hätte er wirklich seine so riskante Einbruchsmethode gewählt?
No.
Funktionierte Armer Pels Kamera überhaupt? Das ist das Erste, was du beweisen musst.
Wow.
Kommt dir etwas merkwürdig vor, Meister? Ja, ja. Ich hab's
The
doch
culprit
schon.
hopped off Alapal as the door opened, then slipped through the gap in the door. That's impossible even for Fink the Slaughter Artist. Think about it. If Alapal's line of sight changed just a bit,
I'll slash through this mystery.
Aber das war unmöglich.
Alapal is designed so that when its hand is stretched out, it won't execute any other inputs. That's why when it was pressing the button for the door, the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Schlau.
you little maggots, don't get so full of yourselves. You're not getting out of here alive.
Weg ist er.
I get it. So Amapal couldn't move while the door was opening.
Yep.
That's when the culprit took their chance.
Since the door opens outward, it's possible to take advantage of the blind spot it creates. That's how the culprit managed to stay outside the camera's view as they entered the doctor's room.
Schlau.
So it's an elaborate murder that took advantage of Amapal's design, and even the direction the door opens. Whoever planned this must have really wanted the doctor dead. I guess you can call it an obsession.
Yep.
How scary. Just like this passageway. Where will it take us? Perhaps a suite with the culprit's obsession in full display? A room of nightmares?
Knock it off with the weird soliloquies. Let's go.
You're really going?
Huh?
Hey, Yuma. When the culprit entered the doctor's room while the door was open,
Huh? Yeah?
at the time, the doctor was in the room, right? If the door opened and an intruder entered, how could the doctor not have noticed?
So what if he did notice? It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
If he had noticed an intruder, the doctor would have turned to face him.
Ja, und dann hätte er ihm nicht in den Rücken gestochen.
Which means he wouldn't have been stabbed in the back.
That piece of trash is right. Your logic is flawed.
Nein.
Hey, what are you, on the Phantom side now?
Listen to my incredible words of wisdom. Your crappy deduction is worth less than shit! Everything you do is a fucking mistake!
Na, das werden wir ja sehen. Aber wenn er seinen Rücken zum Täter gehabt hat und er hätte ihn ja wahrscheinlich, weil er fast taub ist, nicht gehört, dann wäre es möglich.
Damn it! Your deduction is inconsistent. It's full of inconsistencies. By your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
My claim doesn't hold up!
Yay!
No, the culprit did stab the doctor in the back. That's how the body was discovered.
That's why I'm saying your deduction is inconsistent. By your logic, the doctor couldn't have been murdered in that way! The culprit quickly entered the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right?
Ja.
There's no way you missed an intruder. Running is noisy. So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back. Unless you think the doctor was asleep. Is there any trace of him being drugged?
Nein.
Even if he didn't look back from his desk, he would have heard someone coming.
Nein. Hätte er nicht.
Wait, the doctor had trouble hearing. That's why he didn't notice the intruder.
Now you're spouting nonsense. Say whatever you want, it won't save you. There's a gaping hole in your logic. And there's no way you're gonna fill it at this rate. Because you, more than anyone else, you're the one refusing to see the truth right before your eyes.
What? I refuse to see the truth? Vivius said the same thing, but...
It's strange, don't you think? Isn't it about time you noticed that something's off here?
Huh?
You've solved many mysteries up to now, yet none of them are directly connected to the culprit's identity.
Ja.
That's because the culprit is the hitman.
Oder auch nicht.
If that's the case, why haven't you reaped the hitman's soul? And that would end the labyrinth.
It's not that easy. The culprit will fight back, unless we solve all the mysteries first. Hang on. What are you getting at?
Dass der Täter nicht der Killer war.
In my eyes, the reason a single mystery hasn't been directly connected to the culprit is because of Yuma's reluctance. It's pushing away the mysteries that lead to the culprit.
Huh?
Subconsciously, you're closing your eyes to the truth. That's why you haven't touched on the hole in your reasoning.
What hole?
Whatever, that's enough. Just ignore this guy and keep going.
Hey!
Also ist der Täter jemand, von dem wir es nicht wahrhaben wollen, quasi.
Yuma. Yuma.
Jeez, go away!
You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The huge hole in this investigation?
What are you...
Just ignore him.
Let's review your deduction, shall we? The culprit took advantage of Amapau's locked position and entered the lab. And before the robot entered the room, that person stabbed the doctor from behind.
Ja.
However, they bumped into Amapau while escaping, causing it to fall over. That was obviously a mistake, but since it wasn't captured on video, they were able to avoid detection. After that, the culprit went inside the decontamination device in the airlock to hide from you.
That's correct. So what's the hole in my deduction?
It's before all of that. It remains the case's greatest mystery.
Which is?
How did the culprit get past security?
What?
We already told you that. The culprit rode on top of Amapau as Master controlled it and was taken all the way to the doctor's lab.
But if someone was riding on it, how did they get past the high voltage shocks in the panel chamber?
Oh,
Oder am Giftgas.
This is the end for you! You have nowhere left to go!
oh come on, why now?
Na, ich verstehe gar nichts
I
mehr.
won't let you maggots ruin the peace of Kanai Ward! As the king of Amaterasu Corporation and the guardian of Kanai Ward, I will stop you here and now!
Perhaps this too is an obsession. Why does he insist on covering up the truth? Tell me, what will you do, Yuma? Are you going to stay willfully blind?
No, I'll fight. Whether it's subconscious or not, I won't look away from the truth. I'll find the truth no matter what. This is for the Chief and everyone at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Jawohl.
Good luck! You'll never find it. You'll scurry around this labyrinth forever, like blind mice. You'll rot away in it, looking for an answer that will never come!
Ja, 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 hör auf zu labern. Bla, bla, bla.
Keep playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery! How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live. There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it! Don't tell me the culprit is a robot!
Nein, das nicht. Wie konnte der Täter durch den Plattenraum gelangen?
But
Wir hatten wenigstens Amapau bei uns, um das Sicherheitssystem zu deaktivieren. Hast du zu diesem Zeitpunkt nicht noch etwas anderes Merkwürdiges bemerkt? Denk nach.
that's right.
Soweit es den Plattenraum betrifft.
Keep playing with your shit, Dutch.
Ja, im Prinzip nur für wirkliches Wort. Kann ich mir vorstellen.
You still haven't solved the greatest mystery! How How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live. There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it.
Okay, war richtig.
A human could get past the panel chamber by using Fubuki's forte.
Wer hätte das machen
In
können?
fact, that's how we got past the panels. The high voltage shocks kept destroying Amapel.
Ja.
We reversed time every time that happened.
Correct. So whenever it was struck by the current, you went back in time. But while that was occurring, the culprit, a human, was riding on top of Amapel. That person was burnt to a crisp every time you failed.
But
Which means you killed the culprit over and over again.
Oh,
Vivia,
If only you had chosen to remain ignorant, I would have walked beside you in silence. But if you intend to seek the truth, then I must stand in your way.
what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
He's going to betray you, Master.
Betray me?
It's up to you, Yuma. This is your final chance to save the world you believe in. What are you going to do? It's time to decide your past and your future.
Why, Vivia?
Let me ask you. How did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber?
ja, das habe ich auch schon gesagt.
The gas. The culprit would surely die. You should already know this, right? The gas is a special trait.
Ja,
The gas can see through even a gas mask.
genau.
No ability can nullify its toxicity.
Ja.
Once it hits you, you're done for. You die before reaching Wesker. No one gets
Nein, würde man nicht.
If you pass through the toxic gas, you'll die. But you'll have 30 minutes before it kills you. Which means you could survive for 30 minutes.
What? Don't tell me.
There are no gas masks here that can block this toxic gas. And no fortes that can nullify it. There's only one way you could get through it.
Yep, das Gas einfach mitnehmen quasi.
You do nothing. You endure it in hopes of Amapel taking you to the next room.
Then the culprit didn't do anything to counteract it and just passed through the toxic gas?
It's the only explanation that makes sense. This is the truth. I can't believe it. But if the culprit really did just endure the toxic gas,
Dann ist er gestorben.
Then they...
the culprit
Er ist tot.
is...
It appears you finally glimpsed the truth. Well, how does it feel to have your world shatter before your eyes? Isn't this what you wanted?
Huh? What's he talking about?
Yomi's mystery phantom and Fifia are both right. Subconsciously, I didn't want to know the truth.
Huh?
Up until now, the Mystery Labyrinth was withholding the mysteries that led to the culprit. And that's because it's a reflection of my own reluctance.
Master, what's wrong? Do you know who the culprit is? It's the hitman, right?
Nein.
The truth is worthless. Nothing has less value in this isolated, rainy city. No one wants the truth. Not even you!
Das sehe ich anders.
Now, rot away and die right here! No one will get in my way. Kanai-Lord, Amaterasu! They both belong to me! If the culprit carried out the crime like you deduced, then they should be dead from the toxic gas.
Ja.
But no one at the scene has died from poisoning. If you can understand that much, then what are you still doing here?
You're right that no one in that lab died from that toxic gas. But that was part of the culprit's plan from the beginning. They planned to distort the facts of their death.
Yuma, are you sure you want to face the truth? Your world will fall apart. The world that you believed in.
Ich habe da so schon eine Idee.
Your deduction is wrong. Don't disturb the peace. It's not even worth debating. Is this the best you can do to refute it? Just give up and die!
With this, I'll expose the truth!
Der Killer.
The culprit misrepresented their death by using the hitman.
Ja.
The culprit realized their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab died from toxic gas.
Also hat er sich mit dem Messer angreifen lassen.
So they used the hitman to cover up their own death.
Use the hitman?
Meaning, the hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor. They were hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Huh? The hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor?
Ja.
The doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the hitman?
All you would need is a similar knife.
Ja.
The
Und das ist
story
nicht
of
allzu
the
schwer.
slaughter artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
Nah, we leave it alone until we receive further orders.
Did you see the knife stuck in his back? It's the one that Fink the slaughter artist uses, right? I've heard about his knives inscribed with the letter F.
So, it was all a ruse? The real culprit made it look like the hitman did it?
Stop. Stop, 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 stop! You useless garbage! To hell with detectives and the truth! I won't let you have your way in my city! There is no real culprit! Dr. Wesker was killed by the hitman!
Aber warum leugnet Yomi das so? Das spielt ihm doch in die Karten.
Huh? What's going on? Who's the real culprit?
The real culprit. The real culprit is...
The time has finally come, Yuma. It's time for you to acknowledge what you've known all along. If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos of the real world. Knowing this, will you still expose the truth?
Ja.
Then, show me your conviction.
The clues pointing to the identity of the hitman's target. I know. I've known all along.
Now, expose the truth. Do it if you want to burn the world down.
The bloodstained photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman. That was the hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case. The blood obscured the person's face, but I know who it is. It could only be one person.
Der Chef.
It could only be...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No! Stop! Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't understand, but... Good luck, Master! I'm always by your side, haunting you!
Damn it!
Huh?
Chief. Yako.
Huh? Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
Chief Yako was the only person attacked by the hitman in the lab.
Yep.
In other words, the chief was the hitman's target.
Und noch anders gesagt, er war der Täter.
But Chief Yako tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yako himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target, and the chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit?
Yep.
Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder?
Warum nicht?
He's knocking on death's door just for this?
I don't want to believe it either, but there's no other way.
Don't forget this stuff.
Der anämische Vampir wird dich immer wieder mit Fragen bombardieren. Drücke den richtigen Knopf, wenn du denkst, dass du die richtige Antwort weißt. Okay.
The phantom vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do. While the chief takes his final breaths.
Vivia.
Yuma. If Chief Yako is the culprit, then what about that death threat? Why would the chief send it if he was the killer? Answer me, Yuma.
Nein, das glaube ich nicht.
That's not the reason.
Ich habe keine Ahnung.
Why would the chief send it if he was the killer? Answer me, Yuma.
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger, which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab because of that note. Chief Yako brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all? Chief couldn't have been thinking about that. But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all? couldn't have been thinking about that.
Fähigkeit zu verwenden.
But
Verstehe ich nicht.
the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. What is the truth?
The note was sent to the Peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the Peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene.
Ah,
The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
ja, das ergibt Sinn.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the peacekeepers also received the death threat.
Hey, you still want to do this? It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do. I can't leave the chief like this.
Vivia.
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as peacekeepers and entered the lab. You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the chief, right?
Ja.
Yes. But we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the Peacekeepers will see us. I knew it. This place is crawling with them.
What do we do?
I'll draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Genau.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
No, that's not it! The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he...
Bla 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 bla.
No, that's not it! The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it.
Yep.
So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But why?
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him.
Ah, ja, stimmt.
We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yako had it all planned out from the start. He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
So, Master using Amapal and the Sheltered Skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
Ja, das ergibt auch Sinn, weil er ihre Fähigkeiten kennt.
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us.
No.
He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Trust? How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all. He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder! Out of all the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all!
Naja, er würde ja sowieso nicht davon kommen.
Master, grab that coward and...
Enough! Why did it have to come to this? Chief Yago saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything. Even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times. But still... I really admired him. So... why? Why did you do it? Is this about the woman in the picture?
Wahrscheinlich.
Chief, please tell me! Or
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead. Master, watch out!
Oh.
The phantoms are a reflection of the same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the same thoughts. The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding, but that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found, so he hid it behind the potted plant. He left his blood on it, almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, it was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Master, I think you know this, but... to exit the mystery labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
eliminate the chief?
Are you really going to do this? After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die.
Na, wird er doch. So oder so, oder?
But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking on death's door. Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories, or anyone to turn to. I trusted him from the bottom of my heart.
Oh mein Gott, das ist so traurig.
Now, I have to end his life?
You know, I liked it, surprisingly. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
Ja.
I had a hunch. Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time. But I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
Ja.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction.
Ja, das war das, was er damit gemeint hat.
The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the chief's soul called out to us?
Ja.
Huh?
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
Ja.
Trust what?
You signed a pact with the death god in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too, want to live with my head held high. Because I, too, am a detective.
Vivia.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I
Yep,
understand,
das stimmt.
Chief Yako. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Oh, es ist Zeit. Für das Finale dieses Labyrinths. Ah ja. Das ist das Ende. Gut. So. Ein wenig Licht gemacht. Was haben wir denn? Armer Perlenmesser. Armer Perl. So, dann geht hier das Messer hin. Die Gegensprechanlage. Hört hier hin. Das geheime Labor. Ist in der Amaterasu Corporation. Im Dekontaminationsgerät. Friedenswächter. Robokis Kräfte wurden verwendet. Wer hat den Täter getötet? Der schlechte Künstler. Beziehungsweise so gesehen hat er ihn nicht getötet. Und der Chef ist der Täter.
Step right up, step right up! Peacekeepers, a CEO, a research doctor, a hitman, and master detectives! 2 dead bodies, but lots of shady characters! Truth bombs are about to be dropped! Time for the deduction denouement!
The victim in this case is one Dr. Weska. This incident features a sinister and meticulously detailed plot centered on the doctor.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ.
Und ich nehme an, der Chef hatte auch einen guten Grund gehabt, ihn töten zu wollen.
He was a total hermit in the critical lab with a totally overkill security system.
The culprit made thorough preparations beforehand to break through that system.
Boom killing a shut-in is hard work. The humane thing to do is to reintroduce him to society first.
Yep.
Yeah, with that out of the way. Posing as a hitman, the culprit sent a death threat to the Peacekeepers, the detective agency, and the research lab. At the same time, they contracted a real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
Das ist eigentlich ein genialer Plan.
They spilled the beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the Master Detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all.
Yep.
The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned. And Lee arrived with Mikoto at the same time.
Stuff went down, blah blah blah, and Master got locked up by that Yomi guy.
I was rescued by Desuhiko and the culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers. With the real peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
Right.
Yep.
They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents in the airlock chamber. Afterwards, we headed to the critical lab to check on the doctor's condition, just like the culprit directed us.
Mhm.
But since that lab used a separate power supply, nothing strange had happened.
His whole "the doctor's in danger" spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master. What a dick!
But then, someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom. We had to get into the doctor's lab.
But that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap! That bastard wanted to use your dead bodies! He really got you there, Master!
Aber er hat nicht mit der Intelligenz von ihnen
I
gerechnet.
don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing.
Yep.
Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The only way through was by using an Amapal. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
All aboard the Amapal Express! First stop, a shower of toxic gas!
Nice.
Humans can't protect themselves against the gas, but since it's not instantly fatal, it wasn't a problem. Next up, the panel chamber and high voltage shocks! One wrong move, I was insta-dead. But thanks to that sheltered skink, we got all the continues we could want. So we managed a perfect plan! The critical
Yay!
was finally breached!
The culprit had anticipated we would get through this way. They also knew they would die over and over as a result.
Naja, er wusste ja sowieso, dass er sterben würde.
But jumped on. And she realized what was happening.
No use crying over spilled blood. On to the next thing! Where were we? Oh yeah! To open the door to the doctor's lab, Amapal had to reach out its arm and hit a switch. And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze through, the killer snuck inside.
Amapal can't follow any new commands while its arm is extended, so the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Then, the culprit boom killed the old geezer using the same knife as the hitman. Gramps was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Opa. Ach ja.
Then, the murderer tried to leave the room before Amapal entered.
Ich liebe es irgendwie, wenn alte Männer als Opa bezeichnet werden. Ich weiß auch nicht warum.
They knocked the robot over on the way out.
They then went back into the airlock chamber vent to wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
That was when they were found by the hitman. And stabbed.
They'd already been in contact with the toxic gas, so death was inevitable.
Yep.
However, dying by gas would expose them as the doctor's killer. So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
I guess that means the killer completely trusted in the Master Detective's capabilities.
Ja.
They knew those powers would get them close to the doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know? Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Weska, and even included his own death in the plot. Jaco Furio! It was you! I will expose the truth! But why? Chief Jaco, why? Why didn't you ever talk to us about this? Why did it have to end this way? Why didn't you tell us? Is this really what you wanted? Can you even hear me?
It doesn't matter who it is. Exterminating the real culprit's soul and destroying the mystery labyrinth.
Ja,
That's why I'm here.
dann los.
Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. To the final mystery labyrinth. Master's naivete must be rubbing off on me.
So, ich würde sagen, ja, an der Stelle mache ich Schluss für heute. Ja, und weiter geht's morgen wieder zur gewohnten Zeit. Also dann, bye bye. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Hoffe ich zumindest. Jo, dir auch einen schönen Abend noch.